What's up, everyone? It's Brandon from Reach Home Loans. Hope you're doing well. This video is more focused toward realtors, and I just wanted to talk a little about something that obviously is a hot topic and comes up often, and that is appraisals. And so what prompted me to do this video is I had a conversation this morning with a realtor I've been working with for a couple of years, and we were just having a conversation, and she let me know that she started to use another lender recently because the other lender apparently never has an appraisal come in low. And I was a little taken back by that because obviously, as I would think most of you know, the lender does not control the value of the property, right? It's our job to get the loan closed, and ordering the appraisal is part of our process. However, an appraiser is a third party, uninterested in the transaction. Their job is to go out and look at the property, review the comparable sales in order to determine what the actual value of the property that's being purchased and financed is. The lender doesn't control that. And I'll have a secret for you at the end of this video as to who does. But let me just say, the lender has no control over how much a property appraises for. We don't even control who the appraiser is. Most lenders nowadays use an appraisal management company. The appraisal management company is a third party. They place the appraisal order, and then the appraisal will be assigned to a panel, typically of maybe 5 appraisers, and whichever one of those appraisers takes the assignment is the one who goes out to that specific property. And it's always going to be appraisers who work in that specific area where the subject property is located. They're not sending someone from a city that is nowhere near the subject property city to come appraise the property, right? They're sending people who are familiar with the area or from the area, so that way they can do a proper job of appraising the property. And like I said, the lender does not control this. Years ago, right before the market crash, it was a different story. The lender can basically call their friend who's an appraiser, say, hey, I need you to come out and appraise 123 Main Street. Their friend who's an appraiser goes out and appraises the property, and lo and behold, it never comes in under value. And what I can tell you is, if you ever have a lender tell you that their appraisals never come in under the contract price, then run the other way, because they're doing something illegal if they're able to control the value at which the property is appraised. What we can control when it comes to the appraisal is going to be the speed at which it's done, right? We can guarantee that an appraisal comes back in 7 calendar days. That we can control. We cannot control that it comes back in 7 calendar days at the contract price or above the contract price, right? As most of you know, a clause that a lot of you are putting into your contracts right now is that your buyer is willing to pay such and such amount over the appraised value, which automatically tells you you're anticipating the property will probably appraise lower, right? In this market, people are willing to offer more than what a property is listed for. And earlier this year, when we saw the largest spike in values, it was even harder to appraise a property because the market, or I should say the comparable closed sales, hadn't caught up with the market yet. People were buying at higher prices literally every single day that passed. And the appraisers didn't have comparable sales to use to support these new values. And so you were seeing appraisals coming in lower. You're seeing it less often now because now you have more closed sales, being that properties are closing at a faster rate and at higher prices. However, that wasn't the case 4 or 5 months ago. And now, I told you I'd give you a little secret as to who controls the value. So if you're a realtor, you definitely want to know this. The individual involved in the transaction who actually has more control of the value than anyone is you. The better job you're able to do negotiating the price of the property to match up with what other homes in the area have sold for, the better the chances the property is going to appraise at your contract price. The higher above the comparable sales you go with your contract price, the higher the likelihood the property is going to underappraise. Keep in mind, appraisals are based on closed comparable sales, usually 3. In some cases, you'll have 6. Maybe they'll use an active listing to help support a higher price. But in most cases, it's going to be the 3 most recent comparable sales that have taken place. So keep that in mind. When you're negotiating a price of a property, and you want to make sure that the property appraises at or above value, make sure you're negotiating around a price that's supported by other closed sales. So that's a little secret if you didn't know that. I'm sure you probably did, but you never know. Now, if you or your clients are looking to get pre-approved, you want to work with someone who's available around the clock to you and your clients, please feel free to give myself and my team a call. I can be reached at 954-478-8366.